Welcome back. Just enjoying a nice little waterfall that looks like a sewage pipe. During the little bit of off time, I've actually done a little bit of grinding in order to fulfill the gun quest. I didn't realize I had to come here anyway, so that just made the whole thing easier. So I'm done with that. Hopefully I can turn it in before, you know, the plot moves forward and we lose the chance to. But for now, we have people to rescue and terrorists to punish. It's a rescue and punish operation. A lot of RP going on. Oh no. Oh. Nobody said mining wasn't a polluting industry. What if this is also a decoy? What do you think they're doing? Arguing, obviously. And I don't think we can get through that. I'd rather go through all the other ducts. Also, let's find some miners to talk to. I mean, you know, not that kind of miners, but the good kind. I mean, you know what I mean. Hey guys! Sonic here! I am proud to declare that the terrorists have complete control of the mine. She made a very good point. The provincial army were nowhere to be found. The question is why? Either this is sort of an attempt to basically say, hey look, you know, your RMP cannot protect a place like this, which is so vital to the operation of our economy, so therefore we're gonna take it over. Elliot is playing the guy that is surprised at absolutely everything. But I feel like at this point he's just playing for effects. He knows. With that? Is this a way to get him to stop, I guess? That doesn't seem weird. Let's see. I know what's down there. Donuts. I haven't seen any donut doors here, unlike in Guerrilla Fortress. We have to return. Okay. Alright, wasn't expecting this exactly, but somebody's watching us. Whenever you get a shot from that angle, it's obvious somebody's watching us. Well, I guess we have time to look for the cat now.
Well, to start with, we need to work out exactly what's going on here.
If it's true that the terrorists are working with the Noble faction, then it seems likely their aim is to eliminate the evidence of whatever they've been hiding in the first faction.
Also, this does not sound like a conversation that you should be having in this public space.
But did they really have to go this far? The Iron Mine is owned by His Majesty the Emperor himself, right?
That's right. The province of Nortia is tasked with managing it while Reinford mines, refines, and processes the iron.
It's all us.
And iron is the single most vital natural resource to this nation's continued survival.
I don't know. I feel like that's arguable between that and Sepith, but
If this isn't resolved quickly, it's going to deal a heavy blow to the entire country, including the nobles themselves.
Maybe she is biased. Also, I wonder who are the people who.
So I guess the question is just whether the noble faction and the terrorists realize that or not.
Who are the factions, the companies that are mining for Sepith. Because that stuff just doesn't come out of nowhere.
Sounds to me like they're a pretty divided bunch as it is.
Is there a company that specializes in Sepith mining?
The terrorists seem like they're basically all commoners, too. They're only cooperating because they both see the Chancellor as a common enemy.
And if that's the case, it seems pretty likely that what they're doing here is related to that somehow.
Sounds like someone started the party without me.
Hey, Angie. Know that voice from anywhere. Dopey George.
Angelica?
You came too, George?
I got dragged here. I had no choice.
Yo, figured you'd show up eventually.
Those are the backup I requested.
Well, we had to test the sidecar, obviously.
Spike is just full of surprises. You made the trip to Ruhr in 7 hours.
You rode in the sidecar for 7 hours?
So, speed-wise, we're looking great. Comfort, though, we're gonna have to tweak a few things. I swear, you two never change. Kinda figured Toho wouldn't be able to make it, too.
She's like, I'm down here!
Yeah, she's working on gathering a boatload of information, though. She said she'd be in touch if she finds anything out.
Okay.
Well, that's reassuring at least.
Could someone tell me what's going on?
You seem to be hot on the trail of something, but I'm not sure it's the same thing we're investigating.
Push up your glasses even further.
Does this have something to do with those family affairs you told me you were worried about?
Yeah, it does. I had some nagging suspicions about it. Unfortunately, my hunch turned out to be right on the money.
Well, hunch more.
Hold on. Isn't the director of the first factory...
My dear Uncle Heidel Rogner, yeah.
I don't know a single Heido that's a good person. Except for the musician.
Seems like it might do us both some good to swap info. How about it?
Now let's find a better place to talk.
George, thank you very much.
They're dumping iron onto the black market?
What?
Yeah. The amount of steel they're producing doesn't quite match up with the amount of iron ore being mined. That's been the case for quite a few years now.
Now, if you're in the know, you will understand that that statement doesn't necessarily mean there's a problem, because now today, most of the iron that is being produced is actually recycled iron. So in fact, they do not need iron ore to make steel. They just use like old steel stuff.
Officially, the reason given is that the purity of the ore being mined is lower now than it used to be.
Anyway, it's
But if you look at what's coming out of the mine, there's no evidence of that.
neither here or there.
Well, that would explain why the figures don't add up.
And how do you guys have access to this information?
And because they were feeding the raw iron onto the black market rather than the finished steel...
He said finished steel. He's German.
That makes it a lot harder to notice when a little goes missing here and there.
It's the Great Iron Funnel.
Man, Toho put all the pieces together on her own?
I'd expect no less from my beloved Toa.
She poured over everything. Reinford's yearly sales figures, government reports of the mine's productivity, you name it. That's how she picked up on the discrepancy.
She's really something else.
I feel like she has her sources.
Iron ore being sold off the black market, accounting sheets that don't add up. George, how much iron ore is unaccounted for, roughly speaking? Do you know? Assuming for a moment that all the missing iron was refined into steel, how much steel would we be looking at?
This is just a bit of speculative math on my part, but I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 Torum, which is enough to build 2,000 oxen tanks.
Cool.
2,000?
That's practically an army.
The Saxon iron mine is a pillar of the Empire's economy. The amount of iron they pull out of there is almost ridiculous.
It's almost like a black hole of iron.
Even if you pocket a small amount every year, it's going to add up to a lot of iron.
Somebody's been doing preparation for a long time.
But what are they planning to do with all of it? Is the noble faction trying to make their own tanks in secret?
They couldn't even if they wanted to. Only the second factory has the knowledge and equipment to make tanks.
Ouroboros.
And not only does the second factory have close ties with the Imperial Army, it also leans toward the
Excuse me.
reformist faction.
You need all kinds of complicated technology to make even a basic tank. It's not as simple as just grabbing some steel, some blueprints, and some grease and getting to work.
So what does that leave them? Selling the iron to another country for profit? I don't know how likely that is. Seems like deals that big would be too easy to trace.
Secret factories.
Okay, so setting aside the ore itself for a moment. Now that you know this, and given what's happening in Ruhr right now, what were the two of you planning on doing?
Just blowing some stuff up.
It's pretty simple. My uncle oversees the first factory, and the provincial army is blockading the mine. There's no way my family isn't involved. On the other side, you've got all the miners just trying to do their jobs who got dragged into this whole mess.
So I get her.
I'm a Ragnar. I might not be a great daughter, but there's no way I'm gonna let this go on without putting up a fight.
Okay. Please tell me your plans.
Angie.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're seriously gonna go talk to your old man about this?
That's the last thing I expect you to do, to talk.
Hell no.
Oh.
Like he'd even listen to a word I said. Same goes for the provincial army. I'd just be wasting my breath. That's why I'm planning on sorting out this mess myself.
Beating everybody up.
I used to work part-time in the mine. I know the place like the back of my hand. As long as I can find my way inside, I think I can handle the terrorists well enough.
I figured you'd say something like that.
You can't even beat me.
Honestly, does nothing faze you?
We can't let her do this.
In that case, I'd like to ask that you take us along.
We can look at this as a test of how to best respond to a sudden crisis. Looking at it from that perspective, I think it fits neatly within the scope of our field study. You?
Yeah, after hearing all that, I don't want to let them have their way.
Agreed.
I'm with Angelica here. My family's involved in this too. I feel like I have a duty to do something about it.
Thanks. Truth be told, I was kind of hoping you'd back me up anyway. Whatever help you can give, I'll take it.
Well, that's that.
The next thing we need to consider is how to slip into the mine without the provincial army taking notice. At the very least, Angie should be able to get the officer in charge to talk with her, but...
I don't think that's the way to do it.
So, what, we sneak inside while she's distracting them?
Fee, come on, you're the spy here.
I don't know. That sounds a little overly simplistic to work.
Elliot. We need very complex plans.
Leave finding our way in to me.
What?
If anyone's good at cutting red tape, it's my mother. Maybe she could help us out.
She could. Would she?
Well, if you think so.
Alright, I'll leave securing an alternate route to you then. For now, I'm gonna see if I can find out anything else about my family's or the provincial army's involvement here.
I mean, Angie is in many ways very similar to Eustace.
George, give Toa a call and see if you can find out what the Imperial government is doing about all this.
Gotcha. I'll see if I can turn up any machinery that might be useful too.
This is starting to feel like last year's field studies all over again.
Alright, what did you guys do? What did they do last year? Obviously, they were solving some sort of national crisis. Okay. Let's go find the cat and turn in our quest first, though. Yeah. So I checked it out and looked up the solution to the cat's quest. The cat's quest. And we're just gonna get it out of the way here. But first, sir, you won't believe what we did with those pistols. Nah. I don't know. If you are planning to make this thing a military sale, why are you having civilians tested? Just doesn't seem to make it all sense. It's like, hey, we got this real dangerous thing here. High school students, here you go, take it. Go shoot stuff. But you just said that you have no idea how well this thing behaves or performs long term. What if it jams and kills me? Completely lack of business ethics, these people. Where do I report them to? The consumer whatever protection agency. Is that even something here? No, of course not. Alright. Oh, they're here now. The cat not here? I swear the cat is here. Well, it should be here. Let's check. Just to make sure the cat is not around. I don't see the cat. Let's go in. There's no cat here. Anyway, who cares about the cat quest? I'll check out maybe one more place. I think I remember 3 places where the cat is going to be hiding. I don't know which one, but I think the first place was supposed to be next to the Ruhr Institute. But it's not? Oh wow. Yeah, no cats to be found. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. We're going straight to the top. No time for you, dragoons. Oh, do I have to? No, I have to talk to you. Okay. Fine, I'll make time for you. She's gonna tell us, don't leave. And now Lisa's gonna go into a fit. That's my prediction. Don't leave, it's for your own safety. No! I'm a rebel! Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't Sharon be here? If at all, we should be surprised that she's not here. Yes. I think we get... Well, no. I think the score just goes, and then we'll get into the mine. We'll have a pause.
Welcome back, everyone. I've been waiting for you.
What took you so long?
I knew it.
Like the rising of the sun.
I see how it is. You're taking Reinford's side again, huh?
As long as I wear this uniform, I'm simply a humble maid of the Reinford household.
Yeah, why wouldn't she take the Reinford side? They are her employer.
You, the chairman, and Master Gwyn are all deeply important to me.
Thanks, I think. Show us in then.
Of course. Please follow me.
She's not typing with one hand
Bring them
anymore.
in.
As you wish.
Mother, we need to see you.
Excuse us.
Dynamic entrance.
I apologize for canceling our dinner plans last night, but it's looking unlikely I'll be able to join you tonight either.
No, that's fine. We understand.
Yeah, don't talk to me.
It's hardly surprising given the current circumstances.
Yeah, I will be worried if you did have dinner with us.
I'm not sure what's keeping you so busy, considering you haven't even managed to fulfill one of your most basic duties.
Ouch. She came in firing.
My lady.
The miners who work at Saxon are employees of this company. With the Provincial Army barricading the mine and refusing to budge, those miners are at the mercy of the terrorists. I assume you've issued a formal objection to Marquis Ragnar?
Not on behalf of the company, no. It sounds like Director Heidel Ragnar of the First Factory has requested something be done as a formality, but nothing more.
Not as a... Okay, so she said that she did not request a complaint as the company, but that means she did.
That's it? The First Factory has been dumping huge amounts of ore onto the black market for years now.
I just found out this myself like 5 minutes ago.
Don't even try and tell me you haven't noticed it.
Of course she did.
Of course I've noticed. Being unable to bring the First Factory in line allowed that to happen, and that's my failure, I admit. But think, if we assume the terrorists aren't acting alone here, what good would it do to issue an objection to Marquis Ragnar?
Formalities.
Well...
And then do your own business. Because if you don't issue an objection, it makes it sound like you're in cahoots with them. It's a PR move.
There are many possible outcomes to this crisis, and we must be prepared for all of them. For example,
Everybody dying.
we need to consider the possibility that the terrorists may set off an explosive in the mine, and how to respond to that.
Okay, please tell me your plans.
This is a global company. Measures will need to be put in place to protect stock prices, taking Crossbell into account too.
She's got a point. Anything that affects the Reinford company is going to indirectly affect a lot of people's lives.
That argument has never worked. I mean, that is a real point. If the company goes to hell, then people lose their jobs, but nobody ever buys that argument.
Correct. The Reinford Group is its own entity with its own role to fill, and I have mine as chairman. The Provincial Army and the RMP are acting in accordance with their purpose, and one might even say the same of the terrorists.
And the world spins, and I don't care.
Action with a purpose. That's what keeps the world in motion.
Oh my goodness, this is getting worse by the minute.
So tell me, what's your purpose?
That question actually is very loaded because she's been asking her that for years.
Well...
Alright, Ring knows the answer, but we're gonna...
If you get what I'm saying, I suggest you leave.
Alright, Elisa, come on.
I expect the explosion at the military factory is the extent of the damage the terrorists will cause here. I'll give you several additional tasks. I suggest you work on those for the remainder of the day. And considering the situation here, I think it'd be best if you leave Ruhr tomorrow morning.
She's just gonna kick us out.
You have my permission as a sitting director on the Academy's board.
Alright, Ring's about to explode, but we have to let this go in the right order.
But...
Makia, shut up.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Ring's like, finally! I was waiting for you to explode.
I'm not going to keep making the same mistakes anymore.
Oh?
All my life, I've turned a blind eye to what was going on right in front of me. I did it when you drove Grandfather out and took his position as chairman. And I did it when Father died and you let work become your life. All along, you've been working to build the company bigger, and all along, I just looked the other way. But in our field studies at Thor's, I've seen the imbalances and injustices of the world crop up over and over again. But even with that, I, and all of us, really, have to face that head on. And that's exactly what we've been doing. You asked what our purpose is. After 6 months at the Academy, that's my answer.
Our purpose is to have a purpose.
Well said.
Agreed.
That's why this time, I don't plan on backing down. You need to hear the truth, and I need to be the one to tell you.
I am your conscience.
As your daughter, as your family,
I am your guide.
And above all, as someone who's watched the Rhineford Company grow ever since I was a little girl.
And I am your angel. Just like my courts.
You're running this company the wrong way.
Ouch.
My lady.
I'm so proud of you.
Can I assume you, in your infinite wisdom, are planning to tell me the correct way to run my company?
That smug look on her face.
Naturally. But I still need more experience before I can do that.
I'm gonna kick you out one day.
I promise you, though, that by the time I graduate from the academy, I'll show you how this company should be run. As someone who just might succeed you as the chairman someday, I should be able to do at least that much.
Okay, she has committed herself.
It's one thing to make a promise. It's quite another to live up to it. Still, at least you're starting to see the bigger picture.
You have responsibility in your life that you can never run away from.
Mother.
Give it to her, Sharon.
Certainly.
Yeah, they have this whole thing prepared.
Here, my lady.
What's this? Some kind of key card?
Correct. It opens the door to a passage that connects Ruhr City to the iron mine.
Wait!
There's really a secret passage?
The former chairman built it for use in case of an emergency. You'll find the entrance in the underground part of a maintenance room on the upper level of the city.
So basically,
If we use that passage.
we are becoming her mercenaries. She cannot act independently because she knows that her action will be scrutinized, so she needs somebody else to do it.
We should be able to completely avoid having to deal with the provincial army.
I'm not going to say thanks. Right now, I just believe this is the best way to press forward.
And so do you.
And I'm going to tell you why through actions, not words.
Oh, goodness.
Excuse us, Madam Chairman.
We gotta go. I mean, we gotta go.
We've learned a lot during our field studies, and we'll put it all to use to come out on top.
Like we always do.
You don't need to worry about us.
See ya, losers.
They've grown a lot in the last 6 months. It's been a pleasure to watch them. Surely it wouldn't hurt to acknowledge that Lady Elisa has grown too.
She's still got a ways to go. If she wants to take the mantle of the Rhineford Company from me, she'll have to show me she's got what it takes.
She can do things that I can't.
Anyway, it seems all our principal players have assembled. Can I ask you to do one more thing for me?
Go kill all of them.
Certainly.
Cool. Oh, that's what this thing is. I knew we have to be able to get into this at some point. I mean, the thing about this game, actually this whole entire series, that kind of irks me in one way, is that like all the kids are like hyper competent, right? Like they can do just about everything. But then when you get to the adults, you realize they're all just like little puppets. The adults are really holding all the cards. They're planning out all the stuff. And like no matter what we do, we're all part of the plan. Part of somebody's plan anyway.
Who would have thought there'd be an underground passage going all the way from Ruhr to the mine? Gwen really does think of everything.
Oh, you know Elisa's grandfather?
I've heard you two got along famously back when he was still living in Ruhr.
He taught me all kinds of great stuff. How to pick up girls, the best spots in the entertainment district, you know, the really important things in life.
And violin.
It's not that I can't believe it, it's that I can. Too easily.
He ruined my life.
I can only hope to sit and learn a few lessons one day.
Still, it's probably thanks to him that Angie didn't go any further
Oh.
off the rails than she did.
Okay.
Can't deny that.
That's nothing to laugh about.
I wonder if we'll seem as colorful to the first years when we're second
No,
years.
we're really boring.
So, you think this is gonna work?
But George did not answer.
All right, that should do it.
What is this thing?
It's got a radio.
An orbital wave antenna?
It's currently in development at the Institute of Technology, but I managed to convince them to let me borrow it.
Of course you did.
It emits directional orbital waves to widen the area where you can transmit and receive signals. That means you'll be able to use your Arcus unit's communication functionality even down here in the mine.
They make a really big deal about the Arcus communication functionality, but we never actually really use it.
That sounds pretty handy.
I don't know how many times that has actually, saved us or made something happen in the plot.
You can do that?
Yep, Toa is busy gathering information on what's going on across the Empire right now.
Maybe this will be one of the times.
And I'll be able to pass that info along to you while overseeing this operation.
Yeah, well, I'll sit here and play solitaire.
But if things get too dangerous, I'll give you the order to pull out, so make sure you keep the line open.
Got it.
It'll be nice to have some support.
Well, if George is just a call away, we've got nothing to worry about.
Like he's basically like the Teddy of our group,
Okay, I think it's about time we got going.
or Rise.
And thanks again, everyone, for coming along.
Coming along. We told you how to get here.
I've got my Arcus on me, so I should be able to hold my own in battle.
I mean, you don't even use like arts and stuff. You just punch things.
Always room for one more with us.
All right. We should not be too critical.
Your knowledge of the mind will really be invaluable.
I feel like I'm going down a salty spiral here.
I'm looking forward to seeing you clean up with those Taito skills of yours.
Okay. Hey, George. All right, everyone. I'm gonna check the shop real quick. Don't think he does have Megalith, but I don't want Megalith because all it does is just increase XP gain, and we don't need that because we're let's use this. Because we don't want to be overleveled for anything. We want to experience the content like it's meant to be experienced. That's what you get here, the real experience of Trails of Cold Steel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.